What's going on, everybody? It's Nathan Send here from the Late Night Kitchen Studio, and tonight we're going to be reconstructing one of my favorite Future songs right now. It's called Overdose off of his album called Future Hendrix. If you hadn't had a chance to check it out, go ahead and pause the video and look up the song on either Spotify, Apple Music, or YouTube, or wherever, and then come back to this video and you'll see why we're using the instruments that we're using. So let's go ahead and jump into it. The first instrument that we're going to need to use is a bell. So I got this bell from a Nexus pack called Hollywood, and there's a bell called the high bell, so I'm using that. Next pattern we have involves some arps, and I got this from a Metro Boomin expansion pack. This is also for Nexus. And moving on, I have some bass, some 808 bass, and it's a pretty standard bass. You can get it in the Metro Boomin kit, and there are other trap kits that have a very similar bass drum in it. Next thing we have is just the kick. Okay, the kick has got a little bit of fluff to it. Next we have some hi-hats. They're slightly distorted and they're kind of pitched upwards, so that's what we're working with. I have two snares. One that sounds like that, one that sounds like that. So you're going to see how we layer those together. Then the last instrument we're going to be using is a tubular bell. And we have a tubular bell like this. Then we have one that sounds like this. Right? And so I'm actually going to combine both of those in this song. So let's start off with just the introduction. The introduction to the song has just the melodic instruments. So we have the xylobells, which I call them the xylobells, and we also have the arpeggio, which I just called the muffled thing. So let's play each one. All right, that sounds about right. And it's a pretty standard pattern. It's easy to just plug in the notes wherever they go. The next thing is the muffled thing. So let's take a look at how this one looks. All right. Now that actually took me a while to get because you have to listen to the song and try to put everything where it belongs. So, but anyway, those are the melodic instruments. So we're going to scoot over to the main part of the song. All right. Actually, it's over here. So in the main part of the song, we have not just the melody, but we also have the introduction of the bass and the kick. So let's take a look at those. So I got my bass pattern here, and then a slightly varied version of the bass. So the kick gives it that extra oomph, right? Makes it hit harder. And so the kick pattern is very, very basic. Right? Super basic. The next thing, it wouldn't be a trap song without the hi-hats. And so hi-hats are done very uniquely and creatively. So we have the hi-hats, and I got this from, I don't even remember the drum kit that I got it from, but they're pretty standard hi-hats. They just have kind of a bit of sizzle to them, a little bit of sizzle to them. And so the pattern for the hi-hats sounds like this. All right. And so a common strategy that's used in trap beat making is to take the hi-hats and pitch them up, and also to take some and pitch them down. And that gives the song, it gives it kind of a different sense of momentum, right? So speaking of momentum, the next thing is the drum pattern. Check it out. And I have the same drum pattern on both of the drums. Okay, and now the very last instrument is the tubular bell. And so we have these two tubular bells that are stuck together in one pattern, and it's gonna sound a lot like this. Real basic, right? All right, so let's go ahead and start progressively adding in all the instruments so we can see what it sounds like as a whole. So here's the melody with the bells. Now with the muffled arpeggiated notes, let's add in some bass. Okay, snare, tube bell, and last but not least, the hi-hats. All right, so that's pretty much the patterns that we use to make the song. So once you have all the instruments selected and you have all your patterns created, then the last part of reconstructing a song is to just take the structure that you heard in the song and put it in the program. So in the song, we starts off with just the intro, where it's just the melody, and then boom, jumps right into the chorus right after that. Then there's a brief blank period. There's a silent moment in the track, and then the beat kind of repeats itself. And so for the most part of the song, it's all of the instruments playing at the same time. And so most of the song actually appears to be a chorus followed by an outro section. So that's pretty much the whole structure of the song with all the patterns, with all the instruments. So the next thing that you're gonna see is just the whole playlist of the whole song, and I'm gonna play the whole song for you guys so that you can enjoy it. Thanks for watching.